Nearly 65 years ago that the Second World War was grinding to an end in Europe. And in the days leading to the Nazi surrender, Holland was in its darkest hour. But Canadian soldiers came rolling in trucks and in tanks and liberated the country. It is a moment that one Sidney woman remembers very, very well. A news reporter Astrid Braunschmidt has her story. Astrid.
Well, Hudson, Anna Maria Zeeman was just a teenager when Holland was liberated by Canadian soldiers. It may have been 65 years ago, but she vividly remembers how she felt that day. As Anna Maria Zeeman handwrites her memoirs, she comes to an emotional chapter.
And the Canadian troops rolled into Amsterdam in the trucks and tanks. I was there.
65 years ago, a young woman of just 17, she joined the crowds in Amsterdam, awaiting Holland's liberation from the grips of Nazi Germany.
And boy, when they came to come face to face with our liberators, it was just a joy. It was just a lot of, everything fell away from it. We were re-energized, you know, through the whole thing. And, you know, and they came in, those young Canadian soldiers with smiles on their faces. And, of course, I was 17 years old, chocolates for the young girls, you know. It was just tremendous.
As she remembers, the feeling was overwhelming.
And that feeling, you don't know, being oppressed for 5 years. And then all of a sudden you can think again, you can make plans, you know, you don't have to be afraid of thrown in prison, you know.
The end of the Second World War couldn't come soon enough for the Netherlands. The people were starving. Childhoods and teen years like Zeeman's lost. Only now that she writes does she realize the magnitude of what happened.
You know what, now that I write it down, I went through so much. But it had never an effect on me later on.
And so as Zeeman reflects, she writes so the stories won't be lost and that generations will come to understand the appreciation the Dutch people have for the Canadians.
And the Dutch, they will never forget. We will never forget. The appreciation doesn't fade away, even now, in 2010.
Now, some 7,600 Canadian soldiers died in the liberation efforts. Today, during a special ceremony in the Netherlands, they were remembered, and Canada was hailed a true friend of Holland. Veterans Affairs Minister Jean-Pierre Blackburn was leading a delegation there, Hudson. The delegation included veterans and students from Canada.
All right, Astrid, thank you.
You're welcome.
Astrid Braunschmidt reporting.